Biblical Geography Lecture 20, whatever it is, 22, and Part 2. The Bar Kokhba revolts. During the reign of Hadrian, the Jews of Judea raised a second revolt against Rome. Two decisions by Hadrian precipitated the rebellion. First, Hadrian forbade the practice of castration. Whoa, how dare he!
That sounds cool.
What a pleasant thing to have. Why can't we have that? Well, a decision broadly interpreted to include circumcision. That was a good. Second, Hadrian planned to rebuild Jerusalem as a Roman colony, complete with pagan shrines. The inevitable revolt broke out late in AD 131 under the leadership of Simon bar Kokhba, a messianic figure supported by Rabbi Akiba. Dubbed Bar Kokhba, son of a star, Simon led a better prepared Judea against her Roman occupiers. He captured Jerusalem and dispatched the resident 10th Legion along with non-Jewish inhabitants to Caesarea. You know where Caesarea is? You look at the map there to the left and you can see it. Backed by the Sanhedrin, Simon minted his own coins declaring the redemption of Israel. Could look up top there. Coins were minted under Hadrian. See that? He held Jerusalem for 2 years and tried to extend the revolt in Galilee, but the Jewish population of Galilee had less stomach for revolution. By year 3 of the revolt, Simon was forced to abandon Jerusalem. Retreating to the fortress Bether, southwest of Jerusalem, the rebels withstood a Roman siege until summer of 135. Back in the summer of 135. Whoa. In the end, all the defenders, including Simon bar Kokhba, were killed. Look on the map. Do we see any of these things happening here? No, that was Vestavian, real estate. Okay. In the aftermath of the Bar Kokhba revolt, Hadrian established his colony, Aelia Capitolina, on the ruins of Jerusalem. See that there, written in? A pagan temple dedicated to Jupiter was built on the site of the Jewish temple. Whoa! Just as bad as having the Muslim Dome of the Rock. Or maybe they're similar.
They worship the moon.
Yeah, so similar, yeah. Hadrian added a monumental triple gateway to the northern defenses of the city. The massive remains of the gateway have recently been unearthed in excavations at the Damascus Gate. Now our closing part, which is probably the most interesting. The missionary efforts of the first generation of disciples planted the seed of the gospel throughout the Mediterranean basin. The New Testament concentrates on the work of Paul and his companions, but other believers whose stories are not recounted carried with them the message of Jesus, establishing churches along the way. Although the exact circumstances surrounding their foundation eludes us, churches in Rome and Bithynia, Pontus, Cappadocia, Cyrene, and possibly Alexandria, and Carthage flourished before the apostolic generation passed from the scene. So look up, no, don't go yet. You can turn the page, but keep this map out. So look in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea to the right of it. You see 1 through 6. Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, Ephesus, Laodicea, Colossae. They're all in there, that you see the numbers. All these church plants. And on Crete there was one, and you can see these other cities. You know that they had churches planted in Philippi and Thessalonica up top, and other places. And if you look off to the left and straight up is Britain, Britannia. It doesn't show, I cut it off. Several factors enhanced the rapid spread of Christianity at that time. Greek remained the common language of the empire, facilitating the preaching of the gospel all over the place. The Roman peace endured throughout the 2nd century, allowing commerce and trade to flow freely along thousands of miles of roads and shipping lanes. And so you have merchants, businessmen, soldiers, and others converted to the new faith. They would spread the word of Jesus along these same conduits. You don't have to memorize merchants, business, and soldiers. Just kind of know that that's the type of people that were doing this along these highways. The Jewish synagogues scattered throughout the Roman world provided opportunities for itinerant missionaries. They go there and preach to them. Although Jewish opposition to the gospel increasingly turned missionary endeavors toward Gentiles. Asia Minor became a stronghold of Christianity in the decades before and after AD 100. So look at the map again. Asia Minor, you know where that's at?
Yeah.
That's at where all those little dots are in cities. Okay, under the Black Sea there. So there's just so many churches got planted there. But you know, look at Africa and other places, not so many. That was the main concentration. Rome to Really Mesopotamia, that area.
Antioch.
Yeah. Amen. By this time, several churches, Rome, Ephesus, Antioch, Alexandria, and perhaps Carthage, emerged as leaders. Now, this is in this guy's view. Some of this is a kind of Catholic view. Clement of Rome wrote a series of letters in which he exercised pastoral concern for other churches. Bishop Ignatius of Antioch suffered martyrdom in Rome shortly after AD 100 during the reign of Trajan, as did Bishop Polycarp of Smyrna. Strong spokesmen appeared, including the apologists, who wrote spirited defenses of the faith in the face of Jewish and pagan attacks. Justin Martyr, a converted Samaritan philosopher, addressed his apology to the Emperor Antoninus Pius. Carthage produced the great apologist Tertullian, the powerful voice of Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyons, who penned 5 books against heresies around 200, shows the westward expansion of the Church of the Gaul. Where's Gaul? Does that show up on here? Or did I cut it off? You have the Gaul! No, it doesn't show. We know France is out there above Italy, to the left a bit. Well, that's France, yeah, right there. You got Vinia. Right there, Lyons. Yeah, that's the France area, okay. Despite sporadic persecution from Roman authorities and in the face of external and internal attacks on the Christian faith, Christianity spread over the entire Mediterranean basin by AD 300. However, persecution of Christians became more intense under people like Decius, never heard of him though, and Diocletian. Enter now Catholics. The victory of Constantine over Maxentius at the Milvian Bridge paved the way for the Edict of Milan that granted toleration to Christianity. Constantine supported Christianity as a means of unifying his fragmented empire, as well as for personal reasons. He thought he got born again. He convened the First General Church Council at Nicaea in 325. Later, Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire. Well, I wrote, a Christianity mixed with paganism and Roman nationalism.
Yeah.
Eventually becoming the Roman Catholic Church. So don't get too excited about that. Actually, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
However, Christianity triumphed not because of political pressure, but in spite of it. Moved by the message of Christ, disciples of Jesus persevered in carrying out their Master's command. Perhaps the words of Tertullian capture the essence of the matter. In addressing the Roman provincial administrators around 197, Tertullian wrote, "The oftener we are mown down by you, the more in number we grow. The blood of Christians is seed." Take a break and look at the maps briefly.